In the markets, like we say, this has the 4GR 2.5 liter engine, and one of the things that can be noticeable with the markets is the comfort that you get with it. I can tell you this car eats the baby. My camera person today is a lady, and the moment she sat in here, you could see the feeling. Oh. Hey, so that's the effect the Mark-X has on literally everyone. It's a very comfortable car. It's I love how the entire interface. Now this is an old Mark-X, you can imagine, and it was made for pure luxury. It has the finishes that what you guys call Formica, the wooden finish that it has here. The center console gives you the feel of actually sitting in luxury. You can put your hand wherever you want, and for example, for the guys that like to touch whatever you want to touch here on the side of the passenger, you rest your elbow here, and then you touch the things that you want to touch wherever. This majority of people would change this one and put the true Android radio here. You can change it. This is the beginner whatever radio they call it. This is not really Android, but these are radio that came before the Android radios were a thing, and people used to buy them. I bought it myself. So we're going to try and test this machine. I'm going to put in some car fuel here. Almost everything that works with this car is digital. The temperature gauge is digital, the fuel gauge is digital, the revolution meter is analog, the speedometer is analog. All the other things are pretty much the same. For the guys that want to buy the Mark-X, this is something that, of course, a liter of this thing will take you about 8 kilometers max. Kale bwoba ogenze ku highway sobolo kuanga 11 ku highway. Naye bwoba ovuga bino ebyaffe bye tuvuga mu kikuba mu kibuga wano, Mark-X will give you 8 kilometers, sometimes 7, depending on how you drive. But because the engine is powerful, it's very hard to find someone that drives this car aggressively. It will be very hard for you to drive it aggressively. So I'm going to park somewhere, and then we'll do a proper review of this machine. Now this particular one, probably explains why people would be driving luxury cars and their windows are down. I don't think I'll be driving a car like this and my windows are down. The steering wheel is as soft as it could get, softer than what you would get in a Sienta or softer than what you'd get in those normal cars, Fielders and all, probably because it was meant for luxury. It has steering controls. This thing needs to get wheel aligned. That's something that probably they should look into. It needs to get wheel aligned. It needs to get wheel aligned. Oh, feel how it goes up the hill. This is nice. Humps. You hardly feel the humps, guys. You hardly feel the humps. And the way, let's see. There's a Pickens, cause a kick down. Of course, I'm not a very fast driver myself, but I can tell you, Bojuo Mugeri. Woo! Feel that. That's what we call the Mark-X, man. Woo! You feeling it? I'm curious to know. Of course, after now, I think I'm going to drive a Subaru. That's the next review I'm actually going to do after this one. But the power I get, yes, you know that you're hitting potholes, but you hardly get the feeling of I've hit the humps. Humps was manyanti ozikubye, but ulira. That's a Mark-X, man. That's a Mark-X. Kare. We have enjoyed enough. We need to take back this car because it's young. Omanyate bo nyumirwa nye ekintu ekitali kicho. otuuka ne bikulia. Let's take this turn here. And no, is this the turn I wanted to take? I don't think this is the turn I wanted to take. I think the turn I wanted to take is the next one. But olaba bwe gonda ngo weta. That's the power of the Mark X. Now for you guys that are used to driving Sientas, Movogabu Vitsi, this will give you a certain level of power. So from today onwards, if someone wants to buy a luxury car, and by the way, if you don't live far away from your workplace, and ngovuga kilometer 5 mukaga, this car is something you can manage. Enamoroka bwebe kuwa eritange kwa kilometer 8 nga you live like 5 kilometers from your workplace. You know what that means? It means you use 1.5 liters every day to travel to and from work. Okisegera kyenkugamba kitegeza bino byonna bibagamba nti Mark X enywa Mark X bikigo jaba tobiwulira because ovuga on average 15 kilometers to get to your workplace. Now let's just get a place and I try to show you what I think about the Mark X in the exterior. Now, if you're not careful about this car because it's very long, chances of you scratching other people's cars, knocking other people's cars are actually high. Julie. But you know what? I think I'm over enjoying this car. I should stop. So, I find that the one thing that I don't like about the Mark X is this. As a matter of fact, I used to think that it doesn't actually have the double exhaust pipes, but it does have one there and one here. When you look at the muffler, it exists. But I find that these were not finished very well, and they could have done better. And I think that's pretty much the one thing that I really don't like about the Mark X. But I like how it is finished. I like those. They really look sexy. And I think the one thing that the women like about the Mark X is that when you sit in this thing, it's pure comfort. It's really pure comfort, especially for the people that are seated behind. And the way I drove this machine as I was going over the humps, in the potholes, yes, you can know that you're going through the potholes, but you don't actually feel that these are potholes. And I think that's the one thing that people like about the Mark X. Now, this particular one that we are talking about, the one we are recording right now, is black, but you'll find that the Mark X's actually look better in white. And of course, the newer models of the Mark X look much better. But in case you wanted to get yourself a Mark X on a budget, this is the one to buy. Now, I wanted to show you where the vulnerability of the Mark X is. Now, like all luxury vehicles, they have their turns and twists and things they do to try and make it beautiful. Here, one weakness, Mark X in Watia, because this is a very long car, and most luxury cars are very long. As a learner, as a beginner, as a first-time owner of a Mark X, you need to be very careful as you buy it. Ogenda kurubura, ogenda tomera, and when you do it, I specifically did it with this Mark X to show you exactly the extent to which the damage can go. Bono ogenda no tomera. Obiraba bino, come closer. Obiraba bino. This is damage that can be done when you drive this car ngatonda bakuyiga bino. This is because someone yakwate motoka najivuga ngatamanyi and they knocked. As you see, kati otale linafana nanga lino buliraba. Uraba, this side has not been over repaired. See? But the other side has been over repaired. And this specifically is done by someone who doesn't know how to drive. This is a very long car. Ate bono batotomedde maso bajja kutomera emabegeri, and that's why you need to be very, very careful. But overall, I think I like this machine. Now I'm going to drive Ninda Kuvuga. I want you to look at me, enjoy. I'll go down and then come back up. That's the Mark X. The alarm still uses the original key, by the way. These guys are too careful. Julie! Now you have to make sure. And then, of course, you never move a car unless you have tightened your seatbelt, because you want to be very safe. And then here we go. That's a beast of a machine. Kakati, the next time you want to buy a luxury car on a budget, this is your thing. I know there are Mercedes Benzes that are being sold at 8 million, 9 million, 10 million, but I can tell you one thing. Budget. First of all, this is a 4-wheel drive version. Na ye ngawalo ne ze baita rear wheel drive zisikira mabega ene moroka toina kyogenda gikolako, just like the Mark II Grand and the Mark II Musota, toina kyogenda gikolako kyamaanyi ojja kugivuga ogivuge paka bwogikowa. Now like this one, it wasn't driven very well by the owner. Na ye era akyaginyumirwa akyagivuga. The only thing is that the AC doesn't work, and you know is ndi muntu wa AC. So next time, whichever car I end up doing, I hope you see me there. I hope you enjoyed this review. Now, if there is a particular car that you want me to review, you review a Ferrari because you tell me the cars that you know we actually have in the country or in Kampala. Tell me the cars that you want me to review, and I'll see you next time.